week we're going to talk about closing gifts. And you have some ideas that I've never heard of.
You've never heard of them?
No, and I love to give gifts. That's my favorite thing.
That's actually her love language, which I kind of wanted you to start. But one of my favorite go-to gifts, and honestly, it always works out because you are the hero after all, but it's the home warranty. Now, in a transaction, oftentimes you're going to try to negotiate that, right? So maybe you do get the seller to give them a little bit, but maybe they don't get the whole full Monty. Maybe they only give them 1 year and you want to give 2 years. Maybe you want to cover the pool and all the other things. I will tell you, for a go-to gift, again, you don't have to go to the store or do any big plans. It is one that keeps on giving. I just got notification for clients that we closed, I think, what was that, January? That this is like the 5th thing, and it was up to almost $5,000. It was like $4,800 and change that they saved by the closing gift that I got them, which I think was maybe a $600 cost to me, which is amazing, right? So that's such a good go-to. The other one I really like, especially if they have kids, I don't know why it makes me feel better, but it's called Fill the Fridge. And it's such a huge shock because you go in to go do your walkthrough, right? And they're like, you're excited. And it's so hard for me. I have such a bad poker face. I'm like, want to tell them before we even walk in the door. But
I think you give me every gift as soon as you buy it.
I know, I'm like, well, here you go. I'm like, I can't wait. I get too excited. But Fill the Fridge is such a fun gift for people that you know are going to move in immediately, people that have a family, because they're like, wow, that's the last thing on their list is they wanted to go to the grocery store. So you just do like a thing of waters, your standard basics, right? You're not going to get like a ton of perishables. You don't know what they like to eat, but just like the basic things that people like to eat. And that's a lot of, like super pudding packs and things like, it is super thoughtful and helpful. Cheese sticks, bag of carrots, things like that. And you could stock it. Depends on how well you know them. I mean, maybe if you know their favorite beer or whatever, you can put all that stuff in there. But it's definitely a good go-to. And then one that I've done before, and I've done it in 2 different ways. One is a housewarming party. And so you can do it either as like a block party where it's really informal, or I went to one, I wasn't the agent, I actually went to one as a vendor where they had a sit-down dinner, which was really cool and fancy. Here's the cool thing about the housewarming party as a gift. Now, number one, again, this is going to be something that you do with somebody that you actually like hanging out with. So if it's a buyer that you're like, can't wait till that one's over. I don't think I've had any of those ever, honestly. But I hear horror stories all the time. We work with a lot of agents. But you basically arrange for a time that they're going to feel comfortable, that you can help them introduce themselves to the neighbors. And here's the fun thing. You get to come to that party. So who's your biggest cheerleader? Who's your biggest fan? The new buyers, the new owners, and you become like the neighborhood go-to person.
I love this idea.
It's such a cool one. The sit-down dinner was really cool. They had a chef. It was super fancy. There was only like 10 of us there. Yeah. And that was really cool because you actually made the connections and you get to spend that time talking about the market and all that stuff, because oftentimes they'll invite whatever, their close friends or whatnot, not necessarily like their neighbors, but just 3 really unique ideas. But of course, Jenny, the gift giver, who's amazing, I think you've got a lot of great ideas too.
I do. I mean, I love gift giving. So I always go through a TJ Maxx or a Ross or something like that. And I'm always looking through the home section, and I like themes. So I like to
love a theme.
I love a theme. Keys, homes, all that kind of stuff. Ornaments at Christmas time are really good ones. But I love cooking baskets, and gardening baskets are really good. But of course, you're going to be working with them for probably a month or so. So as you get to know them, you take little notes, and then whatever. There was one that we did for your buyer that was really into, it was actually a seller we did a gift for that was into patriotic stuff. And he loved our country and everything USA.
Who doesn't? So, God bless America.
I know. So that was really fun because we got to do some cool things in there and put a gift card. And usually when I do a basket, it's like one showstopper, like a gift card or a high ticket item, something custom. And then everything else kind of supports that. That's a little less and kind of supports the theme.
Yeah, exactly. I love a good theme basket. And again, it all depends on that type of relationship that you have with them and what you know about them. One of my agents that I've been working with for a long time gives, without fail, it's always the same thing, a Ring doorbell. You could have a whole stock full of whatever you want. And then of course there are, anything that is personalized. So doormats and we did the
cutting boards.
Yeah, those were cool. Those types of things that mean a lot. I've seen the ones that they have the paintings of the house or whatnot.
Oh yeah, and that's getting really popular. And the hand drawings. I just saw a new one the other day.
Yeah,
it was offering to do,
especially if it's sentimental, sketches. For sure. So
yeah. Oh, and the gift card bouquet that you were talking about.
Oh, the go-to.
I like that
Okay,
one.
so listen, if you are a real estate agent, maybe like, I don't know, me, that you're like, if I forgot to do anything. And so you just run into Publix real quick and you can get a bouquet and a buffet, like literally a bouquet of flowers. And then you get a whole bunch of gift cards and you stick it in there. So my go-tos are always a pizza place, a gas card, a Lowe's, and like a Target or a Walmart. Because inevitably they're gonna need pizza.
I love it.
Who doesn't need gas? And whatever is close to their house, Lowe's, Home Depot, any of that stuff, they love it. And again, it doesn't have to be cheap. It can be like $400 worth of stuff, but add the chocolate or the flowers in there too.
Yep.
You're winning.
It works.
They're happy.
So I hope that you guys take these tips and learn something new and maybe try something new, but let us know if you used one of these, because we always love to hear
how it
cool
went.
stories.
Yeah, exactly.
hot stories.
And honestly, we always love to set things up ahead of time. So if you have that wherewithal to like set up and honestly, the confidence, good for you, to set up your closing gifts ahead of time, I always recommend that too. But definitely it's a thought that counts, and don't show up empty-handed.
Right.
And please show up to your closings.
That's the most important thing.
It is.
That's the biggest gift.
You are building relationships that build business, and that's a relationship is the gift that will keep on giving.
Yep.
Ding, ding.